Tom Grossi's in the building.
I do hate the Vikings. Yeah.
The Detroit Lions got Brian Branch. Packers could have had Brian Branch.
Mahomes just fires it and intercepted! Pay for the D! Going deep for it, going for it all. Caught! And nobody's there! Run! What happened, Bears? What happened? Who would have thought?
I know. Look at us.
Quick throw.
Oh!
No! Yes! No!
Let's make some noise.
He's gotta go finish the story.
Oh my God.
Wait, he caught that? This game is on drugs.
Sorry, wow, that was just must have inhaled too much.
Wide right again? Why would you do this, scriptwriter? Half a frackin' million people. We raised a frickin' $1 million.
The NFL Fan of the Year is Green Bay Packers fan Tom Grossi.
It's frickin' time.
Grossi Posse Packers! Nation, welcome to an episode of podcast where you don't do Packers fan, but it sure does help. I'm your host, Tom. Let's try this again. Grossi. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Zach, we're at 10. Can't make the live tonight, but I think I know what happened last night. Power outage? No. John must get out of the crawl space? Incorrect. I think Tom got attacked by the Wyatt 6 during the street. Gotta follow the buzzards. I got it. Stephanie and Fire, are we here now? Everyone has their tissues ready for the love, snacks, power backup. Yeah, so in the greatest timing in the history of timing, when I heard the wind, I looked at the window and was like, oh, that sounds pretty bad. All right, folks, just in case I lose power, and then immediately losing power for 2 hours. So, yeah, that's what happened last night. So apologies that we could not finish this last night. Unfortunately, it pushed everything back, so that was a bit of a pain in the ass. So, you know, it is what it is. So tomorrow, I'll work on the South. If it's not tomorrow, then definitely on Saturday, maybe a little bit earlier in the afternoon. Like maybe we'll do like a 12 to 7 kind of thing. So yeah, we'll knock out the South saga, and then we'll wrap up probably with the season 5 on Monday, or if I do it on Friday, then Saturday. Yeah, it's gonna get done. It's getting pushed. It's been a hell of a week, so we're trying. Ray, fire great leader. Brace pay for me. I'm currently sitting in Trenton, New Jersey. Ray, may the odds ever be in your favor. Adrian, got my food and phone. It's completely charged. Let's go. Yeah, and then North Saga. Don't worry, we're gonna do the whole thing. It's gonna get done. I am planning to start writing, because I'm not gonna start writing until I'm done with this. I'm planning on writing starting next week. I'm gonna start writing, and then I'm hoping for the week after for the first episode. Again, I told you straight up, there is gonna be no rhyme or reason to this season. It's going to get done when it gets done. It might be weekly. It might be bi-weekly. It might be who the hell knows. It's going to get done. I don't know how long the episodes are going to be. I'm still debating between 6, 8, and 10 episodes. I'm going to arc the whole thing out and just how many episodes I need to tell the story that I want to. And then we'll be good. And then, we going to take our time. And plus, I have so many reaction videos still to do. So many. Also, there's a hockey video that's going to come out at some point. Don't worry. It's going to be there. It's going to be there. So let's get started. We'll finish last night's episode. So we got near the end of episode 4, if I'm not mistaken. Please hold your calls, very important to us. Bippity boppity boop. Let's go to the playlist here. Hockey. Yeah, recorded a nice long hockey video. It'll be at least 15 minutes long, so that's good. It's good. All right, so let's see here. So let's go to the others. Where were we last night? So we basically were when Mac walked into the room, right? All right, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Yeah, Mac was talking to Breck, so I'm gonna rewind it a tiny bit for when he first walks into the room. And yeah, we'll wind up then finishing, then we'll go to episode 5, which I think episode 5 is one of the better episodes too. And then you just have the stretch of 3 episodes that is so good. So yeah, it's not scripted because I want another year of just getting my hockey info down so I could just make sure that I'm informed enough to make all the jokes I want to make. And then we're going to, it's not the footage either. No, it's completely different. It's like a little video essay action. It's a little different. I don't know if he'll do well, but we're gonna try. All right, so let's go to show screen here. Boopity boppity beep. Boop. Let's put this there. Let's move this up right here. Oh, you're gonna get some lore. You gonna get some lore today. So where we left off. So Frederick has this conversation with Breck, and the audience and Breck find out at the same time kind of what Frederick has been up to. There's the Bills Mafia now, this kind of group that he's with. He's going around and attempting to wake people up, and he does not have the full context. He does not have a full understanding of what is going on, which is really apparent in season 5, which is something I wanted to set up here, because by the time like they're done with this episode, you kind of have a sense of like, oh, like they have purpose. There's a little bit of control there. Like they know what they're doing. And then season 5 rolls around and, you know, things happen. So, with that being said, let's frickin' frack and rock. Let's just make sure we're in the right place.
I felt a lot of things.
Okay. We'll back up a little bit. All right. Let's go, Alex. The NFL's got to pay some money. Sunday ticket. It depends on the episode. Sometimes a very long time.
Do you? Yes. When I woke up in the woods,
Volume good?
I felt a lot of things. No. It's not your turn. I felt pain, anger, betrayal. I thought about my awful parents. And I thought about hurting you. And then I felt warm.
Pete.
Like I was on a beach. I could smell the salt in the air. I could hear the waves. But then they found me. And they brought me back. And when they did, all those feelings came rushing in like a tide. But they taught me that none of it mattered. The show, the people, you, none of it mattered. It's funny. I went on that show hoping to impress my parents. Maybe they'd be proud of me. But that's over now. Mac.
I also like this conversation because if you go back and like just trace out Mac's kind of journey, if he would have died and if he was on the beach and maybe seen that Captain Finn Oakley did things to get to that point, like to find him, he may have a different perspective. I mean, look at Gus, right? Like Gus is a great example of that too. But because he was brought back and Frederick and the Mafia took hold, now has a completely different perspective on all of the experiences that he's had.
Diego and Louis, it doesn't matter. None of that matters anymore.
Diego reference.
Now I just want answers. Purpose. And I'm gonna find it. So, you need to decide if you're gonna stay or go. Whatever you decide, make sure it's your choice. Because that's all we have. But if you hurt me again, I will kill you.
Yes, also some foreshadowing for what the finale is going to be about the choice. True story. Also, as you saw it back in episode 2. True story. Also, the choice that Tom made and was revealed in episode 3, where he chose to stay. Lots of choices being made. Out of focus.
So, what's it gonna be?
Thank you, Gamer.
Hey, so I know nothing matters and everything, but do you think we're going all the way this year? Maybe if time didn't matter, we would have beaten the Chiefs. Hey, don't lose sight of what we're doing here.
I like this music.
Welcome to the Mafia.
Let's go! Let's go!
Little after credit scene here.
Hey Rocky, you almost ready to go? Bruce sent a leaf and charade starts at 7. And I don't want to be late again, because last time Springsteen ate all the chia seeds. Where is he? Who? The man in orange. Where is he? I think you got the wrong house. No. I don't think I do.
Don't give it to Danny. So that episode is, yeah, you had to wait weeks for that to be resolved. Because, like I told you, I knew what the last 3 episodes were going to be. And 2 of them were, it's going to be the nightmare, and then you're going to have the love. And so to kind of plan this out, when I was just like going through the beats and for pacing, I was like, I have to have this episode in here. Like, there has to be a Frederick episode. And I also need this part with Lewis as well. And this actually happened in season 5 too, because season 5 is supposed to be 8 episodes, and there was supposed to be an episode on the South characters, and unfortunately, just because of 30 and 30, I wasn't able to get to it. But yeah, I had to do like additional work here, so the others had to be its own separate episode, which I really, really like, because it's kind of showing the consequences of the West Saga, just like season 3 showed some of the consequences of the East Saga. I love this episode, by the way. I love the editing in this episode. This was the episode that I knew I had to make, where, again, you were going to get a lot of lore dump, like a lot of lore, but it was going to literally set up the rest of the season. So it was going to set up, this is why this next, like, you knew what the plan was after this episode, hence the plan. Let's go!
I can't let him go, Mr. Eugene. But he's gone, yes. Which is why I must go to Davy Jones' locker to find him.
So good. Woo! We got a Steelers fan. So again, at this point, you have seen the guy in the hood. You saw him at the end of the West Saga in the Supercut. And then you've seen him before in other videos. And the videos you've seen him in were with a Steelers fan. He's always part of the Steelers fan. That was the Blood Demon. And so now this is like Blood Demon really introducing himself into the lore here. And also more in the finale, of course. Bad Apple! Currently catching on part 1. Just wanted to pop in and say it's the first time watcher of Coach Seasons. Tom, your mind is fantastic. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's better than Manic. So it's good. It's good. Steve!
Are you sure about this? I've heard stories of a demon with the power to grant you whatever you desire. I've been knocking on every door, overturning every stone, just to find it.
A rock, but that works.
Listen,
too.
the only reason I'm doing this is because you helped us with that whole playoff thing. But you should know, there is a cost. Whatever it is, I'm willing to pay it. For Mac.
Also, I think that this episode, it closes a little bit of a loop and gives you some insight onto what the saga characters are thinking about the world around them. So, for example, like Captain Finn Oakley is talking about Davy Jones's locker. For him, that's the beach, right? He's heard stories about it. He's heard stories of like this haunted house. And for him, this is like, oh, this is the world that I live in. Again, they don't know where they are or what's going on. Like, they are way out of their depth here. But this is how they rationalize the world around them. Let it burn. Let me find out what the cost is.
I hear you can get me to Davy Jones' locker.
This was a pain in the ass to shoot. Like, a pain in the ass. In the ass. Because there was no shot that I could get that made Blood Demon look the way that I wanted him to look, and I was kind of stuck with this one, but, you know, yeah.
I want you to bring me there, so I can bring Mac home. I'll pay any price.
Yeah, larger. We've also seen one character do the before. Ambition waking up. Yeah, same time. Smoothie gang! Very different from the first episode. You'll see South characters.
Why didn't you recognize the knock? You're not Tom, are you?
The pacing was also important for this too, because I knew that after episode 1, I wouldn't be coming back to these characters until episode 5. So I wanted to make sure it didn't follow the very traditional, like, oh, when is Junior gonna find out that it's not Tom and it's Ambition? Like, that wasn't interesting to me. So instead, it was revealed immediately, and it was like, okay, the next time that these characters interact, what is Junior gonna do? What is Ambition going to do? Etc. So, yeah. We'll see. We'll see. Chose to ignore Junior's knock. You can only see outside when you're in the void, and it's only if you have access to it. But at that point, we cleared that up last night. Ambition just doesn't care. Because once he realizes, like, Joy is going to be in the way of his and is not going to be helping him or is not being aided by him, he sees them as like, okay, then you need to get out of my way. Rock and roll, boy. Hey, excuse me. Rock and roll.
No, I'm not. Tom is dead. When I found him, he was broken. And I did everything I could to save him.
Who's hosting the stream? Yeah, he's obviously lying. Or is he?
But in the end, it was too late. He was already gone. There was nothing left to save. I'm sorry, Junior. I thought that maybe I could just be like...
Yeah, so just to clear that up, if I died, like, or Tom died, like, in the real world, yeah, like, this all goes away. The idea was that if Tom was to die in the crawl space, yeah, it would not be very good, but they don't know. It's never been tested. So it can kind of be like, okay, this guy is running the show. Ambition and Joy are running the show right now. Because again, it's also very difficult to illustrate that they are controlling Tom, right? That was shown in season 3 with Junior doing, at least the videos in the beginning and stuff. The live stream is a different thing. But there is some interaction going on with the real world. So, and how would you test that? Yeah, it'd be problematic.
Like him. I didn't know how to tell you.
This is a lie.
I'm sorry for lying to you. It won't happen again.
Yes, everything. Exactly.
But you know now. Which is good. Because I think it's time to leave. What?
I'm sorry for lying to you. He said lyingly. Yes.
Mac. Mac. Where's the snow? What is this wretched place?
So again, had to do something with the snow.
Yeah. This place does that.
Which works because, again, there is also the idea of cold and there's no more insulation, so it works out really well.
Where is he? Where is Mech? Haven't seen him. What? I've been here for some time and...
He thinks that it's Davy Jones's locker. He knows about that. Raymond, fire. Best part of these scenes is hearing Tom refer to himself in third, second, and somewhat first. But yeah, it's true. It's true. Lots of different.
Haven't seen him.
Oh yeah, got it.
Maybe he's gone, or not here. How do you know what Mech looks like? Just wait and see what I have planned for us. I've been accepted onto a reality TV show?
What's going on?
I don't. Just haven't seen a lot of people around. I see. I guess I'll just keep looking. Have at it. Hey, how did you die? I didn't. What? I didn't die. I made a deal with a blood demon. A deal? Yes, to come here and bring Mac home. Wait, you can get me out of here. Apologies. The deal was just for me and one other. But he's not here. I just told you I haven't seen him. Look, I'm sorry for whatever your plight is, but I must continue my search. Wait! You're really beginning to test my patience. Try thinking about him. What? I was just sitting here one day and I just felt them. This place. You can feel. Just think about Mac. What are you going on about, boy? Just try.
I love the music for this too.
Mech. He's alive.
One of those was not black and white. Oh,
How?
that smirk! The smirk! So I wrote this scenario, like, all of this was intentional, even during the West Saga, because I was like, okay, I now have to get one of them back, either Chamis or Tome. And it was written of like, oh yeah, he's going to look for Mac and use the blood demon and he's going to bring back one more person who's going to be Mac. And then it just, there you go. There you go. Gus said he needed practice. Does Finn have a deeper connection to Mac? He was able to do it instantly. Yup. Good catch. Good catch. Ghostfire, nice shirt! So I guess both shirts, he got fit, like gloves. Yeah, this one, the other one's a little bit smaller, but it still fits really well. So I appreciate it. I like them.
And he feels so empty. But he's alive. I gotta help him.
But he's alive, so...
Yes, of course, but now you can bring me back. I got no time for this. You said so yourself. It was supposed to be you and Mac. But he's alive. So you can take me. What about him? No. He wants to stay. I'm sure he won't mind if I go ask him myself. Finn, I thought you said that Mac needed help. We should just go. He could be in trouble. How do you know my name? What? You told me when you got here. No, I didn't. Who did you say you were again? You know me. You know Mac. How? Because I was the one who sent you both on the show. I'm the reason you were there. You. Was it real? No.
Thanks, Car. Thanks for ruining that
But if
moment.
you-
Really appreciate that, Car.
I hate filming there so much. I hate it so much. So, this is a great scene because you have Breck, who went through all these experiences in the last episode and is basically saying, I have all these experiences, and you have Frederick and Mac saying, no, they were not real, right? And Breck is like, okay, all right. And then you have the complete opposite here, where you have Finn, who is obviously, it was real to him because he is going on this desperate search for Mac. And you have the person who set up the entire thing tell him, no, it wasn't real. So you have Breck and also Mac, because they fall in that same boat, who are being told, no, your experiences don't matter and they're not real. And Mac believes that, or at least to some extent. And then you have Finn, and how is he going to react to that? So you have basically two characters who are being told the same thing. I'm going to take very different approaches to their past.
You. Fine.
You got a fast car.
What? I don't care. Mac is real. And that show is how I met him. So that's real enough for me. Let's go. Blood Demon.
Let's go.
Why is Chamas being honest there? Because nothing else is working. And also, you know, he's been in this place for a little bit. Maybe coming to grips a little bit of like, oh, this could be problematic. He's also scrambling here because he's terrified of what could happen.
Change of plans. We're taking this one. No.
Let's go.
What do you mean, leave? We've outgrown this place. A change of scenery. We could be happy again.
I wrote this scene. This script is a mess. It is a mess of a madman writing it. Hold on. That's the south. Okay, hold on. Here we go. This is the real behind the scenes here. Okay, so where are we? How do you know my name? Let's do this. Okay, Blood Demon. No. So, Chamis, what do you mean? And at M-E in the word mean, I drew a big line and wrote cut there. Continue mean. Cut to Junior finishing sentence. Junior, me, the slash in between. A-N, leave. Oh yeah, the Sacred Jedi text. Ambition. We've outgrown this place. A change in scenery. We could be happy again.
Change of scenery. We could be happy again.
No, we can't leave.
No, we can't leave. Everything here reminds us of the past. It's time to create a new future. For us. No, you can't just decide that. You were sent here because it was his choice. Are you ready to go? Apologies. I am. Wait!
There's Chamis. There's Chamis. Because again, since he's gotten to the beach and seen where he is, there's been kind of like, I don't want to say a looser version, but maybe there's like a little bit more like a sympathetic one, but it's that, wait! Like, it's like, oh! There he is.
What if he made the wrong choice? That's not for you to decide. You're not Tom. And I'm not leaving. If that's your choice, then I've done all I can.
Wreck is not Chamis.
What if we allow him to choose again?
God, I love this season so much. Yeah, again, also, it keeps on every time it cuts. Ambition to Blood Demon. Blood Demon to Ambition.
Send me back. For an hour. Let me try to convince him. And if I can't, I'll stay here. Time works differently here. You'll be back to Mac in no time. So do we have a deal? I had really hoped that this would work.
Good job, camera.
Goodbye, Junior. He goes too. Fine. You have 30 minutes. But I go first. Done. Where will you...
So, yeah. First of all, that transition, that editing was legit some of the best editing I had done so far. I was like, yeah, 2 snaps to end the episode. Very true. So this, I remember the premiere going nuts. And so that's what I meant. Like, after episode 5, you knew what the next 2 episodes were going to be. First, it was going to be Chamas trying to convince Tom to bring him back. And then you're going to have Tom, who is going to do something. Let's go, Ron. Nice job. Congratulations. Let's go. And so, now, here is one of the best episodes in the entire GCU. Season 2, episode 2, The Night. Yeah, where's Luke? I had an opportunity to legit just make something in the horror genre. I've always loved horror. I've always wanted to make a horror movie. And so this, now, years later, I got another shot at making a horror episode. And this, there's a number of reasons. Yeah, you turn off the lights for this one. It's we did, when we premiered this, like, all the lights were out. It was so good. This was shot from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. because I needed it to be dark out. So it was shot from 10 to 4, went to sleep for a little bit, edited, and then got it out later that day. Or later that night, I should say. So this was a crazy episode to work on. This actually is also the one script of season 4 that I do not have, because not a single line of dialogue was written out. There wasn't a single bit of script. I knew exactly for years what I wanted this to look like, and a lot of it stemmed from an actual nightmare that I had, where I was sleeping downstairs, and I woke up, and I, like, couldn't really move, and I saw someone standing in the doorway, and then immediately dropped to the ground, and I saw their shadow moving their way, like, across the bed, but, like, on the ground, so I couldn't see them. And I woke up, and I was like, that is horrifying. I love that. And I legit was like, okay, I'm going to use this for an episode. So this is called The Nightmare because obviously it's the sequel to the season 2 one of The Night. It's another Chamas-centric episode. And because it's also literally a nightmare for Tom and a nightmare that I had as well. So, yeah, I love this episode so much. I'm going to grab some water, and then I'm going to put this back too. I'm going to grab some water, and then we're going to rock and roll. That's sleep paralysis. That's right. I use my sleep paralysis as inspiration. That's right. All right. Let's do it. So, end of previous episode where you saw Tom and Lamy. That cut was the biggest pain in the ass, but I refused not to have it. I refused. I still think it's like a little off. Like I could probably tinker with it a little bit, but that shot took forever. So, yes. And again, no script for this one. I thought it was also like really important for this episode to look different. Exactly, Rue. So yeah, I didn't want it to be just like on a tripod the way that the vast majority of Coach and the Sagas is filmed. So instead, things had to happen here. Yes, Sydney, that was also the good point too. This is the same exact shirt that I used for season 2, episode 2, The Night, because of course, that'd be the same one. And yeah. I messed up that shot here. Can you run? Apparently not. No, this isn't the prologue. This is Chamas trying to convince Tom to bring him back. But he's in a little bubble. Yeah, so, oh, look at that little Undertaker vibe there. Yeah, it's also important to mention this at this point, too, because of, like, where... This is terrifying. Because of where Tom is. So this is the first example of, like, little bubbles being created, because this can't take place in the real world, because obviously they're still in the crawl space. And this can't really take place where Tom was, because he was in the void. So this is instead... like a bubble that is created and Chamas can manipulate. He's got 30 minutes. Do the best he can. I love this shot's so good. This shot's so good. And again, from Tom's perspective, my man was chilling in the void, was like, I'm going to pour my heart out. Also, this thing is hungry. Also, I am now in a place where I don't know. Am I back home? I don't know. It's dark. This is weird. I'm running in circles. Oh, there's that guy I killed. So, a lot going on. Look at the size of those nostrils. You could fit at least 2 olives in there. 3 now. Get 3 of those. Look at those suckers. I was good at running. A lot of air getting in there. Okay. So this shot, yeah, was because well, I mean, the whole thing is improv, but this shot was done by mistake. So in this shot, when I was filming it before, so when I'm filming the curtains here, I actually scared myself because I was filming the curtains and I saw, and you could see it like very, very slightly here. I saw my reflection in the glass and was like, oh crap. And I was like, oh, that could be amazing. So it was a mix of trying to find the right lighting and angle to make this shot work. And good God, I loved it so much. So, again, love it. But if you look at how this shot is done, you literally can see the camera. Because I couldn't figure out a way to get the camera out of the shot. So you could see the hanging lights in the back, and you could see the outline of the camera right here. So I did the best I could with what I had to work with. But yeah, so this wasn't me from outside because it was light inside. You literally couldn't see outside. So I was trying to make it work. I was like, all right, I tried bringing lights outside, but then it didn't look good because I had it to make it right here because that's the angle where Tom was looking. So I was like, all right, I can't make this look good. And it was literally seeing my reflection. So yeah, I literally put on the Chamas polo. I was like, all right, let me do this and stand here and we'll rock. So this was great because this scene, people like didn't see it because like it's really, really dark. And I made it intentionally dark. And I even did that for one of the other scenes too when Chamas first appears. And I also do it for like when Chamas first enters too, like his first intro. But I made him like barely visible. So like if your phone was just like had a better brightness or you were on like watching your laptop or something, it was a nice Easter egg that people could go back to see. So he's literally, and then I move a little bit too. That was from season 2 finale. So again, paying off nearly 2 years later. Or over, technically. That was remade, and I went through a lot of letters trying to make it look like I did before. JC to Fire. Hey, I'm hooked on Coach. It's great. Was wondering why'd you stop putting podcasts on Spotify? It's how I found podcast. Yeah, honestly, it was just an issue of timing at some point, and then it was like, all right, do I put reactions or not? But it's gonna go back on Spotify this season. Appreciate you. And plus, I still play for the SoundCloud, so. So again, this letter also wasn't revealed to the audience what was in it. It was written during the season 2 finale, when Tom loses to Chamas for Madden and is like gonna go into the crawl space. And it's always been like, oh, it's not gonna be a great, it's not gonna be a great letter. 30 real minutes, Matt.
Tom?
callback to the episode After the Night. There's a clip. Yeah, so that holding the railing thing too, like for me, that was a callback to the season 3 finale, where what we talked about from the other night, where Springsteen goes to hold on to the rail but then doesn't. It's like little things. Thumbnail. And the curtain's moving intentionally. So, this is how you horror, baby. So, I set up this is like a fake out into still being am I seeing what I'm seeing, right? So, I don't have I intentionally didn't use lighting here because I wanted it to be difficult to see, right? So, when Tom first walks up, I do this slow pan of the room, and the audience the entire time is like looking for something. And so while I'm fixated on that, I'm making sure that this shot is here and there is a completely dark, terrifying doorway where now the audience is like, oh man, like, is something gonna pop out? Is something going to be there? And so like the tension is literally revved up like a ton, because if you've ever seen something horror, like there's no music, there's no nothing, you're expecting there to be a jump scare. And I don't do like a ton of jump scares. Like I think you could use them effectively, but when a horror movie just becomes like jump scare, that's boring to me. So like building up this tension of like, am I even seeing what I'm seeing? Because you're looking and you're like, I remember the chat, they're like, is something there? Exactly, Finn. So yes, so that's 100%. I have talked about Hereditary a million times. And yeah, like I got a lot of the inspiration for like what the feel was from Hereditary. So like when you could see someone standing in the room and you're like, wait, is that somebody? That for me is like really effective horror. Because then you're like, oh God, like, is someone just standing there, like, staring and watching? And so this part, you build up all this tension, and then there is someone standing there. So, like, I'll point out the outline in a second. And again, the way that the light is, I didn't want to use lighting. So I literally have this orange glow that's on Tom as he turns around. You didn't see anything in that room, which, by the way, is the orange room that's right behind him. So this is like super difficult to see. But if you follow my mouse here, there is an outline literally of a person standing here. So there's an outline of a person, and there is like a little bit of a lighter / orange shirt there. So yeah, Chamas is literally standing there. So then... like, this is Chamas. Like, he's standing right there. So, it's difficult to see. And the problem was, like, then I needed to go, like, all right, well, how bright do I need to make this? Because, like, I don't want it to seem super duper obvious. And for me, I was like, okay, like, it is what it is. But I also wanted to make sure there was no jump scare. Like, there's no music cue. There's nothing like that. Because it's, again, like, sowing in that doubt, like, is there anything there? I'll try to find it on my phone and, like, brighten it a crap ton. I got this. Oh, you know what? I still have... hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I have the original footage. Hold on. I have the original... yeah, it's the... YouTube's gonna compress it, so let me find... okay, Coach Season 4. This is Episode 6. Okay. I gotta try to find this footage. Please hold. Okay, no, that's downstairs. That's that. That's the letter. That's that. That's the railing. This? Hold on. No, okay, that's the pan around to the room. This is Tom looking over there. Huh. Oh, I might have shot it later because that'd be a Chamas. Hold on one second. That's a Chamas scene, and his shots were always done later. Is this it? Oh no, that's like the ending. That's the ending. Oh, where is this? Please hold. I'll look for it for like another minute, and then... alright, I'll find it at some point. Alright, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. No, it's on HD. It's on HD. It's on HD. Yeah, I'll try to look for it. I'll try to find the OG one. Alright, we'll do it. Alright, we'll continue. God, this shot. That shot took forever. I mean, literally forever. And I think this shot was literally, I was so tired from filming and like plopping up and being like, what if that slowed down? And then, so I had to get some shots of the fan, and then I had to I had to turn the fan off, but it took like 5 minutes to fully like stop. And I'm like, come on, man. So that was a rough one. Yes, my fan is now clean, by the way. It was not clean during this. Yeah, it comes to a standstill, but I had to, like, turn it off first. So, as we build the tension here, my house is very squeaky. So what that is a mixture of the actual, what I did is I held the lapel mic, pretty sure like next to my feet, and I walked slowly just so I could get that. And then I put in like that sound effect, which I've used for Chamas before. And it sounds like, it's like a mixture of like hooves, but then also like there sounds like there's like a wetness to it. And like, I think that in of itself is just like, ooh, I don't like that. So, yeah. Just at a fire. See the forecast in New York. The wind has the opportunity to do the funniest thing ever. No. We're getting through this. Yeah, scriptwriter's robe. Yep, the scriptwriter's robe. Then there's wrestling scriptwriter's robe.
Can you run?
Can only run to the bottom of the stairs. Yo, but I flew. Yeah, so the can you run, I was like, if I'm gonna bring that back, like not just for like, oh, he said the line, it had to be like delivered in a different way. And I think in that context, it made it was pretty great. That was the dream. Calvin, Squills, I almost snorted. Flying a plane in a game with this in the background probably wasn't the smartest thing to do. I missed the parentheses the first read through, and I was like, what? And then I'm very glad that you made sure you said in a game, because I imagine just as a pilot, this is crazy right now. I don't know. I don't know if that'd be the best decision. It'd be an interesting one. I don't know about got the pilot in here right now. He's like, yep, do work at the airport. There you go. Calvin! It's nice. So, this was something with, again, sound design is really, really important for me when it comes to horror. And in general, when I make this stuff. I like to make sure that, like, music notes hit when, like, scenes change or what have you. So, this was ramping up the tension significantly. And then usually at the end of that, there's like a scare. And I didn't want to do that. So I was like, no. Like, let's try it this way. And instead, like, just diffuse it completely and then just earn it back up again. want to go across the bedroom the first time. The lighting was a nightmare in here, and it didn't allow anything to get focused on.
What do you feel? Fear. You need me. Say it. Say it! I need you.
So, I like this episode for a few reasons. One, I just love horror, so that. But two, when you then like sit with the episode and go, okay, what was Chamis trying to do? Because it wasn't just, oh, like, let's screw with Tom for as long as we can, right? There is like a purpose to it. And so Chamis, like, he's not going to walk into the situation and be like, let's have a conversation, buddy. Here's why you need me. Here's why I need to come back, right? Instead, he's going to do it in the only way he knows how. And I also wanted to show this too, because like this is Chamis in his element. This is not like Chamis in the real world, maybe like limited a little bit more in terms of like what he can do, because like there is a physical world. They can definitely affect Tom, but in here, this was like, hey, like full power, full strength, like this is what this looks like. And to create something that's legitimately terrifying, there's the flashing of the note, which comes back again, which is going to be also talked about heavily in the next episode. So that's going to finally get resolved. And then it's just building and building and building on fear. And then by the end, just breaking Tom, who the last time you saw his character, he was like, I don't feel fear anymore. Like, I'm not afraid of anything anymore. And Chavis like, bet. So then literally has this whole experience to terrify Tom and make him experience fear, which is why like there's not a lot of dialogue in this episode, because it's not about like, he's not going to do it through words. The next episode is literally like 30 minutes of dialogue. So Chamis gets in there and goes like, no, like I'm going to terrify Tom and I'm going to convince him this way that he needs me. And at the very end of the episode, like, how does it end? It with Tom saying, I need you. Right? Literally, like, beating it into him, like, terrifying him to the point of, like, this is why you need me. And then that episode is only 15 minutes. I said it was 30, like, in real life minutes. This next episode is 30 minutes. So Chamis also comes back early. Like, that was intentional. I thought it could be a little bit longer, but the idea was always to have the nightmare be a little bit shorter than the love. And when I actually planned it out, you know, once the script was all done and I recorded everything, I was like, oh, damn, this is only 15 minutes. I kind of wanted it to be longer, but then thought about it and was like, oh, man, like, that's perfect because that's going to add to the cockiness. Like, Chamis went in there and said, I got him to say the thing. I'm good and I'm out. Tiger, not very convincing if you ask me. Gotta feel that fear, baby. Gotta feel that fear. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the nightmare and the love take place in, like, real time. Yeah. So for, like, the beach, it's not gonna be a very long time. But for them, yeah. And so now, this episode, that last episode for me was, like, quote unquote, easy in terms of I knew what I wanted to do. Like, that was, like, in my head for a really long time, that episode. Like, there was stuff, I literally just plotted it all out in my brain and then improv'd as I went along, and we made it work, and it was great. Love that episode. This next episode was like, woof. This was a different mindset. Rose, fire was no intentionally put in a different place than Tom left it so he would think Jade had found it. No, it wasn't for that. No, it was kind of just reminding him of that note. Because, like, that came from, like, a place of fear. So, like, that's the last time that Chamis and Tom, like, interacted in the real world before Chamis gets thrown back in. It's, like, that note where he thinks, like, all right, that's it. So this one, this is a time. So this one, this got revealed on a GPS episode. I talked about it before, that the number one song that I had listened to on the Spotify Wrapped for the year when this came out was the song from Up, like the really, really sad one, the do 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 do. So I have always found that song, like, really, really sad because I'm a person with feelings. So this next episode, I was like, all right, I just recorded something that I absolutely love. That was so much fun doing. Like, I knew what I was gonna do. It's horror, what have you. Now I have to come back. Yeah, married life. There you go. So, even better. So then I had to get in a completely different mindset for this episode. And this script was long. Like, this script was long. And I knew this episode was going to be long. So you had the nightmare, which was like 15 minutes, with so much filming and going into that. You have this, which is 30 minutes. And then the finale is like 45 minutes. But to get in the mindset of writing this, because, like, this episode, like, needed to hit. I was also a little disappointed with how the Void episode went, and was like, I just didn't like it. I wanted to kind of just, I wanted to stretch it out more. I wanted there to be more in that episode. I think I was just pressed for time, and just, it wasn't my favorite when it came out. So I was like, okay, this episode, like, I need this to hit. It's so important within, like, the lore. It's really important within the story. And it's a conversation that dates back literally to season 1. It's literally Tome and Tom in a room where they have not had a conversation besides the very quick one during the season 3 finale. And so it's years in the making. I would say at this point, like, besides ambition, like, this was probably, like, the most important, like, I don't want to say callback, but, like, payoff that needed to occur, right? Like, there's not a ton of lore in that last episode. Like, there's definitely stuff, but this one had to, like, hit emotionally. It's literally titled The Love. And so, yeah, this is that episode. Oh, and there was a whole lot of processing, by the way, too, because at this point I had gone through therapy, which was really, really good. And so, yeah, therapy. So right after the nightmare. Now the door's open. So my man looks so broken. He got basically taken to the limit. He killed fear, got taken to the limit with ambition, right? It was like a lot of ambition. Then Lamy, then Chamas. And so, yeah, Tom's kind of been through it at this point. And like, that was also an important part that like I really wanted to stress of like, now like, there's a lot that's happened to this character of Tom. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of real stuff that was going on that like made this a little bit or a lot a bit heavier. But like in terms of just the GCU, like the character of Tom like had gone through a lot since picking up a controller and playing Madden, right? So yeah, my man tired. He's tired. In the outfit where he last talked to Tom. Come on now. Season 1 finale. Herman! You're the true MVP, buddy. I want you to give you your time to shine. So this is a big moment for Tom, too. Herman does deserve the Oscar. Best supporting role. It's true. The lumbar support. You've always been there for me, Herman.
You didn't use all your time. I didn't need it. His turn. Then I get out of here.
Thank you. Truck. Lawnmower.
Is it time for me to go? Are you here to take me?
So, oh, dude, this is like, it's 90 degrees out here too. Like that sun is high in the sky. Yeah, no, you'll see this in the season 4 finale when you see Blood Demon, like legit, I am like dripping sweat while I'm doing it because I had no air conditioning in here and it was rough. So glistening, literally like I was a Twilight vampire. But for this scene, Tome just going like, all right, like, yeah, are you here to like, here to take me? Like, is it time for me to go? And he thinks it's the end because like Tome is just done. Tome has also been a very challenged character like throughout this, and things did not go right. You kind of never knew what his intention was with Tom, with like the whole Madden thing, and that didn't get resolved at this point. And so it was like, okay, again, like I don't know like what he is, but he's kind of morphed into this character, And then, like, this is the explanation of Tome, who has also been through it.
Please.
I'm sending you back.
No. I don't want to go back.
You have 30 minutes.
Be on the same couch.
What do you want?
I don't want anything.
Then why are you here?
I didn't choose to be.
Choice.
Of course you didn't. Neither did I.
Do you want to?
No,
Build a snowman.
I don't.
Summertime.
What are you doing?
I don't have much time. So I want to spend it at home. Goodbye, Tom.
House lore. So, this is like the first time you're going to see where Tome and Linda were. Now, this house, we've seen this house before because this is like the scene where like Shamus walks in like through the back deck and is like, oh God, yeah, Finn Oakley and Breck. So now you're getting a house within a house. Houseception. It's like, well, if you're going somewhere cool, I mean, like, I'm just gonna sit here. It's not my house, by the way. Gotta show the clock. Bubble. It's Bubble. Yeah, it's Papa Grossi's house. That's the same front door to my house. Why'd you steal my dad's door? It's kind of messed up, LQ. It's kind of messed up. First you kill Lamy, and then you steal my dad's door. Come on, LQ. Just be better. Okay? Just be better. That's all we ask. That's all we ask. All right? God. It's just so inconsiderate. It's a bubble. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, that's a good question. Is a bubble for it's a bubble for Tom to manipulate. And he's manipulating it not to manipulate Tom, he's manipulating it to go home.
What is this place?
It's where we lived.
I never lived here.
I know. When you were looking at houses, you saw this one. I always loved it. I just wanted to see it one last time. It's funny. Without her, it's just a house. Not a home anymore. This is where Thomas found her. This is where I should have been.
So yes, it's a house listing. Yes, this is where Tom and Linda lived. Yes. So I try to make it very clear. I'm not kidding. Those are the same closet doors I have too. Well, now a thief twice.
But I wasn't. We can leave now.
Is that the same plant too, LQ? God.
Why did you... Why did you play that stupid game with me?
Because I thought you'd love it. This. All of this was supposed to be something you loved. It wasn't supposed to be the only thing.
I thought it was your job to make sure that that didn't happen.
So, in GCU verse, right? Jester, fire. About to make y'all feel old. Day 16 years ago, Wally was released. That is old. That is old. It's not a real trophy. No, it's a replica from Benny Tech. This was like kind of throwing shade like about the ambition thing too. This wasn't supposed to be the only thing, right? And then Tom now having an understanding of what's going on is like, bro, like where were you? Where are you at? So this conversation like flips a bunch of times where I wanted to make sure like that there was a legit dialogue, that they both have really good points, but they're just, you know, they're just broken.
I trusted you. I believed you. But you lied. over and over again. The game was just... It's not about the game! It's not about the game.
Then what is it, Tom?
You know.
I was going to come find you. I just needed to check on Linda.
Do you really not understand?
I didn't know that you...
You left me!
I didn't intend...
Fuck your intentions.
That's right. We drop one a season ever since season 3. That's right. Season 5 has one. Look out, season 6. PG-13, I get one F-bomb. But it works really, really well. It works really, really well in this scene.
You left me long before we came in here. You stood right there. Right there. And you told me that my love and my joy was a lie.
I'm not real.
And then you left. And then you were back. And you told me that you would stay with me.
Junior will stay here. Because I'm coming with you.
But you didn't. It turns out you weren't even looking for me. And then he found me. And he told me that I needed to kill my fear. What you and I were supposed to do. But you didn't care. But it doesn't matter. Because it was too late. And everything was gone. So I let him take control. What other damage could be done?
He's not going to stop. He could kill Junior. He could kill you.
Maybe it's time for that.
Oh, we that broken.
Maybe it's time to just
Let me go.
They both broken. Woof. Yeah, we getting down low. We getting down low. So this is also when you're going to start to see previous elements of the story feed into how Tom got to this point. In fact, you get one F-bomb per season idea from Bojack. No, I just thought it was a PG-13 thing. But no, I like doing it and like saving it because again, if there's a scene that like really emphasizes for it, yeah, it's dope. It's dope. It makes it connect like so much better.
I wrote the letter.
What?
You were gone. Junior was gone. She was gone. Chama said one, so I wrote it. There were supposed to be more adventures. You made me believe that my life was set. That I did it. I won. You. The rest of my life was supposed to be okay. I fought for it. And I won. And had everything. And now I am broken. You broke me. And now I feel nothing. It's like I'm marked. I failed. How can that be fixed? It can't.
There's always...
No. No. There is no always. Even when you believe there is. What do you do when it doesn't last a lifetime? There are no more firsts. And the story's over.
We're the same. This whole time, we've been mirrors of one another. Then we were both lost. And now, we're broken. But then again, we're not the same. I'm not you. And you are not me.
So, it's at this point where I would say Tom's like at rock bottom. Tom's at rock bottom too. It's basically the lowest that he's going to be. So now, after establishing this for 2/3 of the episode, there needs to be there's not a solution's the wrong word, but there needs to be like a rising that is going to occur. Because even when like talking about like super duper heavy stuff, like this is coming like from an adult and like and an educator, right? That I was like, okay, like if I'm going to talk about this kind of stuff, like there cannot be any of like idolizing or like glorifying this like in any way, shape, or form. So what my intention was, and I hope it's received this way, is that like the letter represents like rock bottom. It was something that was written, right? Like at the end of season 2, which is like, okay, like this is it. And then it's like the unpacking of that. Like, I feel like if you write that kind of letter, right, like, and just leave it and don't bring it up ever again, like, I feel like, then what the hell is that for? Like, that's just a prop then. Then it's like, no, like, actually go through the emotions there. Like, that's why it shows up in the fear of, like, actually talking about that and talking about going through that kind of hurt or those kind of feelings or those kind of ideas. And then there needs to be a rise from that. Right? Because like that's the lowest. That is rock bottom. And like at the same time, like legit as someone who has gone through those things, there's a rise.
Which means you don't. Just because I'm broken doesn't mean you have to be too.
You know, I thought you, out of all of them, would understand how I feel, what I've become, how empty I am.
But we're separate, Tom. You've given up control to love, or fear, or ambition. You need to take back control.
I don't want it.
I hurt you, Tom. And for that, I am so sorry.
You're sorry?
So, as we're talking about, there needs to be this rise. I think it's also not genuine if it's like, okay, here's the lowest point, right? Okay, everything's better now after I realize that. That's not real life, right? So, with this, you're going to have, there's going to be a ton of pushback. Like, there's going to be pushback within this episode. Like, it already happened. Like, when Tome, like, delivers the line that needs to be delivered of, like, no, like, we're separate. Just because I'm like this doesn't mean that you have to be like this. And once that happens, right, that could be the time of, like, all right, things are starting to go on the up and up. But Tom's like, no. Like, you're not getting away that easy from this. This is not like, okay, we could just separate our feelings and have a nice day. There's got to be a pushback.
I don't forgive you. I will never forgive you. Because you are a liar. You made me believe that you were everything that we could get through anything. Did you even believe it? I know that I made mistakes. and that I am far from perfect.
Another Rise Against line. Just her.
But you made me feel like I was enough. Until it wasn't. Love conquers all. What a joke. All it did was conquer me.
Great job, Tom.
And I will never be the same. So I don't care if you're sorry. Because that isn't not enough.
There's a little bit more anger here.
I was wrong.
I know. But I really wanted you to be right. So you'll have to excuse me if I'm not jumping to take the reins again. But I do know that you will never, ever take control again. You destroyed me. So now, I'm done.
I don't want control.
God damn it, I don't want you!
Dropping GDs out here now.
I don't want to look at you. I don't want to talk to you. Because when I do, I hate you. Do you hear me? I hate you. And I never want to see you again.
I understand. You don't have to see me anymore. This is the last time you will. I am sorry, Tom. For everything. And there are plenty of things that I regret. And even though this is where our story ends, I don't regret that we tried. Because we did try. And the times that were good. Is an adventure I'll never forget. None of us should have control, Tom. Just because we exist and we're here and part of you doesn't mean we should control you. We exist, but we're also separate. So, you don't have to be us. Just be you. Goodbye, Tom.
We ain't finished yet, though. Shots.
You and I have a lot to discuss.
Woo! So that was love. So that was listening to the Up song on loop so much that it was the #1 song I played that year when I made this. But yeah, that was that episode had to cut, and then there needed to be okay, you can come back from this. I would argue, even though the finale, there's a lot that happens in the finale. This season, even again, there's some bad stuff coming, but this season ends on like a positive note. Like the last bit is positive. And I would argue that while like this episode is really sad, there is a point where like you start coming back. And even though like Tom's not fully ready to hear it, the last stuff that Tom says to him, that gets through. Like there's a point where he's like looking down, he's not even giving him the time of day, and then he like whips up and looks at him and he's like, okay. He's like, I hear that one. And that's when you're gonna start like having this return. So, all right. Pee for the D, drink some water, come back and watch the finale, and then we're rocking. Let's do it. Wow, this was still 2 hours. This is great. The whole season's like under 3. We got like an hour to go, so let's do it. to Chipotle. Chipotle. Got myself a chicken burrito. All right, let's do it. Yeah, let's watch the finale. You want to record the debate or pause it or come back later? That's cool. So just have a moderately aged man talking to himself. You don't need that right this second. All right, let's do it. Tom.
Yeah, so she left.
Oh, yeah. So, you remember back in the season 2 premiere that now this is taking literally 2 full years to pay off? And there's a scene where Tom is sitting on the couch and he's talking to a therapist, and everyone in the chat was like, who is this person talking? And then you kind of forgot about it. But then there was always like, oh, wait a minute, that is a thing still. And here you go. 2 years later, paying off, because if I introduce a voice, people, of course, are going to ask, who is that voice? So I was like, just wait for 2 years. Just wait for 2 freaking years. And so here we go.
And I called just about every day until she changed phone numbers.
Also, Tom sucked. Let's just, season 1, season 2, Tom, like, you just sucked, man. He sucked. Gotta go down and back up.
And I haven't spoken to her since.
And what about the hallucinations?
Which ones? No, I haven't seen Tom since that day, and quit drinking, which helped.
Why?
Cope. And yep, there's no one in the house, just me and the squirrels.
Squirrels?
Yeah, there's this weird scratching noise that keeps coming from a crawl space, and I had an exterminator come over, but he wasn't able to get in there. And so, other than that, things are pretty good.
Well, I'm glad you're not seeing any more hallucinations. I understand how you're feeling. To want something so badly. To be somewhere else. Also, real quick, it was really annoying because I wanted to match the audio, but I was still not using good equipment back then. And so I recorded just without the any microphone, and it still sounded better than it did all those years ago. So I'm sure we'll find our way back. No matter how long it takes. This shot was a legitimate nightmare. Legitimate nightmare. So, to make this shot work, I had to use Papa Grossi. And the shoot was a struggle. It was a significant struggle. Because I had to sit on that couch, have my New Paltz hoodie on, I had that shirt underneath, and my father had to have it And then when I was out of frame, I had to run underneath a light wire, jump over here, rip off the sweatshirt, sit down, not make noise, and then look up and get into the shot. So it was literally, sometimes you go too fast, sometimes you went too slow, and it has to be done in one shot. So it literally is like shaky, and I'm like, oh, it's driving me insane. But this was the best one we got. This was the best one. It took a lot of shots. The only shot that probably took a little bit more was the last shot of season 5. So we're trying. I was wearing it.
Who are you? I have many names. Some call me a blood demon.
You're about to see what it's like with no air conditioning because I couldn't have it on. I think I might have had it in that window. I think you might be able to see it. But I couldn't have it on during the shoot because you would obviously hear it in the background. And it was like 95 degrees. And I am in this large winter coat. And you will start to see. It hasn't happened yet, but I did this all in like one shot. Like in terms of just like I read through the script with Blood Demon. Blood Demon is like my favorite character to play because I can stare at the script the entire time. So I was able to do this, but as the shoot goes on, and this is a very, very long conversation, you just see me start sweating throughout this entire episode.
Others call me desire, longing, hunger.
You are.
I give others what they're seeking for a price.
So again, before this, you of course saw Blood Demon this season at the end of the West Saga, but before this, he was with the Steelers fan and all the Steelers fan reaction videos. So, like, it was a great part, and like he was doing this, and I knew eventually Blood Demon was going to make his way into this. So, yeah, desire.
I don't want anything from you. I know. And yet, I'm here. The way he spoke of you, I have to admit, I expected more.
I don't know who you've been talking to, but
You know him as ambition.
So, I said this, I think it was last night's stream, that there are direct consequences from Linda dying. Like, there are. And you've seen, like, little bits of it, but again, I don't think it's really been, like, super conveyed at this point. Like, what has changed? Oh, the weather's weird and stuff. But this is, like, this gets, like, really deep into the lore. Like, oh no, like, you are getting backstory. You are getting things that you didn't even know were a thing. Yeah. Not yet, Burberg. Not yet. This episode.
You know him? I did. Though, I knew him by another name. We used to be a team.
Steelers fan reaction.
He would give them a taste of ambition, and then I would grant them what they desired. Until he wanted more.
So to clarify there, he's saying that Ambition and him were a team and they would give others what they desired. So like they were working as a team on the Steelers fan, which there's lore for that too.
Until he wanted you.
we get an exposition on ambition. So, again, we have seen these emotions like core characters. They have been interacting with the saga characters in different ways, right? Jamis is like tormenting them and like getting them to try and kill each other and all that, and he's being fear. So desire and ambition were doing the same thing. They were together, and they were like, that's how they were treating like the saga people, as you saw, like it eventually would be the Steelers. And so the lore behind ambition is that he was a team with desire, and then he wanted more. Like, he had more ambition, and he wanted to target Tom.
He wasn't content in here. He watched you. Became obsessed. He would talk about wanting to be sent out there, or having you brought in here. But I can't do that. But then you came in here, and he asked me. It was you. He's here.
So, God, this season's so good. This is giving you the backstory on, okay, well, how did ambition even find Tom? Right? Tom is going into the crawl space. Tom is going into the crawl space. How did they get separated? What happened? This is breaking, like, I'm getting that specific because that plays a larger role into all of this. So that shot's going to become really important. So ambition, you introduce him like with the Grossi posse shirt on, right? So that is ambition in the past.
It's you. He's here. He's finally here. I need you to bring him to me. I need you to separate him from that bearded imbecile. Dan, don't call me that! Don't. Listen to me. All of my planning, everything that I've done. And what have you done? Exactly what I had to. Bring him to me. What will you pay? Anything. Done. Brought me to him. Yes.
So, even that scene that you just saw is significant when ambition is talking to desire. Like, it's just them being able to have that conversation is significant. Yeah, my middle name's Daniel, so there you go. But for this, like, it's revealed, like, that's how it happened. So Desire / Blood Demon did this for Ambition. They used to be a team.
Why? Because we were the same. We weren't just a team.
Travis, you're literally about to find out right this second.
You're him. You. I was. We were two sides of the same coin. Like you. Like how all of this exists. We shared a body. We were one. Until I didn't want to hurt her. Who? Tome called her Linda. Your insulation. I am so tired of hearing about a piece of...
So it's gonna get revealed even further, because I know, like, that's a big, like, what? I'm sorry. Hold on one second. So Desire, aka Blood Demon, and Ambition, same thing. But out of Desire comes Ambition, and then eventually Ambition reached or wanted to reach a little too far. And so you're like, okay, so they were like the same character. They were there, worked as team, okay. But then you have this moment where it has to directly relate to Linda. Okay, so you were the same character, but then you weren't, and now you're two separate characters, and one's Ambition and one is Desire. And now this is where you see the direct consequence, because all Tom knows, the character of Tom, is Linda's a piece of insulation and has no idea the context whatsoever, because he has not been shown that.
Where are we? What is this? You brought me here for him? I don't want... What is this? This was your insulation. But that's... That's Linda. He is part of you too. And why the insulation? What kept you together? And what Tome sees is her. I didn't know.
So now, after the entire love episode that just happened, now Tom is, like, actually seeing, oh, like, that's what Tome was oh, that's what Tome went through. He didn't know who Linda was. Like, he literally had no idea. It was like, okay, it's just a joke that Tome makes about literally a piece of insulation. Not meaning that it was literally like an insulation that was keeping things together. And for Tome, there's a reason that Linda looks like Jade.
It's time to go. No, wait. Let me go talk to him. Let me... No. We have to go back. It was just a... I showed you.
What is it? What is it? What was it just? What was it? It's just a memory. Oh yeah, that little cutoff, that's gonna pay off in a year in the season 5 finale. That's right. That's right. That's right. Work with memories. But again, that for the first time is like, he finds, I don't want to say finds, he rediscovers that relatability with Tom. Because during that conversation, right, it's very adversarial. Like, they're just, like, going at it. And Tom just, like, can't see Tom's perspective at all. Because it is just anger. Rosa, to her little insulation doesn't require protein bars. True story. There's anger there, and there is just deep sadness, and there's betrayal that's there, and he just can't get past that until Tom talks at the end and kind of gets that little bit where Tom like kind of snaps out of it for a second and is like, okay, like again, I heard that. And now here, throw on top of it, now he goes, oh, Tom went through in some way what I went through. And so, yeah, like, he's broken too. I mean, Tom said that, but it wasn't really hearing it at that point. But yeah, like, both broken. And now that there's that relatability, he's like, oh no, now I want to talk to him when he didn't want to see him ever again, 10 minutes ago.
What I saw. Because I was there. What is going on? We killed her. We destroyed your insulation. It kept things in together. So when it was gone, we were no longer the same.
So this scene, just to give you context in case it wasn't understood, this is after Ambition, because it was revealed in season 3, killed Linda. And that's why he goes, we killed. So this is the scene where it had just happened. And so now, because of that, the insulation that kept things together, they're no longer together. It literally forces them to split. So now you have the character of Ambition who came out of Desire, and now you still have Desire. And no, Tom's not a representation of my actual, like, it's Love. Like, he's Love. He's the character of Love. And now in the GCU, like, Tom goes through stuff, but then also, like, personally too, just enhanced. Jets and Fireport, Tom gets thrown through the ringer from here on out. Also, storytelling wise, at this, you're the best. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Yeah, the insulation kept them together. And so now there's no more insulation. They're not kept together. I actually love this scene. I actually love that question and everything. So before the split, how separate together were ambition and desire? Like one consciousness? Yeah. So it starts out that way, right? But as ambition grows, like think about it literally, the way that I always thought about it is like, think about it in a human sense, right? If you've ever had ambition before, that's like a really strong pull, like maybe it's because, like I hear about this all the time with like wrestlers, right? Like Edge, famous wrestler, like sitting there at WrestleMania and is like, I want to be a pro wrestler, puts him on a path that he's going to become a pro wrestler, right? So I think about it as a person. So like you may have like a touch of like maybe like desire or something, be like, oh, like I could try this, like, okay, cool. And then it can, like, it's an ambitious thing, but it can grow into an obsession and unhealthy. And I've said one of my favorite movies is Whiplash, which like covers this. The Bear also does a really good job of this TV series. And so as like his ambition began to grow within, like eventually it got to the point where they're now separated. That's Papa Grossi. I was like, Dad, I need you to stand there real quick. I'm just gonna touch your arm. Why? Just don't worry about it. So I love this scene because it's the first time that ambition is no longer held back by desire and has like finally gotten out and is now like touching and like, we're different now. Like we're separate now. So yeah, not a split screen. Not a split screen. Love that cut too.
We were separate. And then he asked me.
So I also love doing this too. I showed you a flashback, and then I showed you the flashback to the flashback, which then completely recontextualizes the original flashback. And you're like, oh man, like that's what I meant. Like the fact that they're even having that conversation is, holy crap, like they used to be together. And so then you start to wonder, okay, when you put that together, so then what did it cost ambition? Uh-oh. Because, okay, yeah, they're separate characters. Okay, yep, I was able to go through those hoops. I understand that. But then he said it would cost him something, and Desire/Blood Demon is obviously very upset about this. What did it cost?
He asked me to bring you to him. Why? Why did you help him? Because we're the same. Or at least we were. You're separate. The same but separate. What was the cost? What? You told me that with you, there was a cost. What did it cost him? The longer that we weren't together, the more it would kill him. He would slowly lose our powers. And though he would fight to keep it, his energy would go too. Then his body He's dying. Yes.
So, Tom, why isn't emotion working out? Tom, this seems unnecessary. Yes, there's a reason why ambition is working out. Sure, you could put the ambition part of like looking good, but literally trying to prevent the breakdown of his body. Also, bloody nose, established throughout the season. Also, this is Blood Demon really, it's really petty. And like that comes out of a sense of like loss and hurt, because again, Blood Demon / Desire is not happy about this. And so the cost, which Blood Demon was like, all right, like I'm going to take this from you. I'm basically going to kill you. The longer that we are separated, it's going to literally kill you. And that is kind of the other side of desire, right? Because if you have unchecked desire, it can lead to destructive things. And so that moment I thought was really important, because for Blood Demon, like, he's like, yeah, this is what I'm gonna make this cost you. Literally your life for not being with me. Whew! Jets of Fire, that is deep, because eventually everyone's ambition starts to die no matter how dedicated you are to something. Sure, yeah, absolutely. Right, but that was also, you had the first episode, yeah! Then the later episode, it's a little slower. The energy's starting to go. Desire had his powers in the north, though. Did he? Not too many, if I recall. Not too many. And again, said it would slowly start to lose him. Also, desire is also the OG emotion. You know?
He said he would pay any cost. But he's out there, in control, with Junior. No.
Yes and no, Rose. Sorry, that's a good question. So is Blood Demon the one who determines what each cost is? He's the one who, like, has to approve of it. And so, ambition, like, that's also why that's a very intentional scene. Ambition is, like, anything. Like, whatever it costs. And again, Blood Demon's like, say less.
Junior is no longer out there.
Ooh.
I felt it. Just like when he snapped away Tome.
You'll see everything.
I felt it. And so I followed him there. So if Junior's not out there, Ambition's out there alone. No. What? He is not alone. But you said Junior wasn't out there. Yes. So Ambition's the only one? No. He is...
Oh, I waited 4 years for this character. I introduced this character 2 years ago. And finally, after all this time, here he is.
Is not the only one out there. There is another. Who's with him? Who else is out there? He's been there for a long, long time. I'm sure you've seen him, felt him.
Anger?
They all do.
the times.
I told you that
Literally all the times the characters outside like have gotten angry. Took 4 years.
I told you that the insulation kept things in. It also kept things out. And now, the insulation is gone. What else is out there? Wrath. Rage. Anger. You've been carrying him for a long time. He was in the void, but it couldn't hold him. So we pushed him out when you were a boy. What?
So, can I answer how anger tries to help Tom? You'll see. You'll see. Don't worry. You'll see. You'll see. Yeah, so that's a big moment of like, okay, remember I told you, like, Linda dying is a really big deal. So you had this where you have like ambition and blood demon splitting. You're like, oh yeah, that's pretty bad. And then it's like, oh no, it gets significantly worse because not only was that insulation keeping things in, it was also keeping things out. And so now as this character of anger is introduced, and then this was the part, I mentioned this in another stream, this is the part I was really concerned about like, okay, how much explanation do I want to do? Because I think that you could do it with any like real life events and stuff, but I'm saying like once you get really out there, like how much do you want to explain it? So this conversation that Blood Demon / Desire has with Tom about what happened with anger, I was definitely concerned of like, am I explaining too much? But I liked how it came out. Rewinding a little bit.
So we pushed him out when you were a boy. What? We just had to wait for you to open it. And when you did, we pushed. He was killing you, rotting you away from the inside. We didn't have a choice. All the fights, the anger, you pushed it out on a kid. Yes. He tried to get back in, but we were too much. Over the years, we assumed he would just get weaker and weaker. And with time, he did. I managed it. Yes. But he never really went away. But we thought he did. And after a while, with no one to fight, we turned on each other.
Also, I am sweating in this. So, this was a really big piece of the lore that I wanted to make sure that I really explained. And I think I saw that comment right. It was Andrews basically said, like, the Blood Demon does a good job explaining the GCU. Like, yeah, because I legit wanted to lay it out of like, yeah, this is the story. I know if things were not like fully explained yet, or like we're just referenced to, like, here you go. This is big. But when he starts talking about anger and like pushing it out, I was like, okay, if that's going to happen, then I need to have an explanation as to why everybody was like not really referencing him, because if it's going to be a problem for a while, but that's why like the years of going by, and if it was like pushed out really early and being like, all right, Tom, you go deal with this, buddy, because like you keep this in, it is going to kill you. So pushed it out there, years go by, and he's kind of just like, all right, we'll hold it down the fort, we're fine. But years are going by, and all this time is passing. And so then they started turning on each other. And that's why you have, like, again, there was this agreement, there was this, like, bond with these emotions and core characters. And then over time, they started to fray. Because they were like, you know what? I can do this better. Tom needs this. And there you go.
He was there at the start of all of this, when we made a deal to make all this possible. And the cost was that we couldn't kill one another. But he turned it all to rot. He burned everything.
I don't understand.
From almost the first moment, the baby wants warmth, food,
Desire.
eventually love, feel joy, fear, sadness, anger. More eventually came, but we were once all together for you, to protect you.
Yes. In the original premiere for this episode, someone yelled, desire is the root of all emotion. Yup. So the idea is desire is the OG, like, legit emotion. Like, the first character that's there, right? Because it makes sense if you're going from, like, a psychological perspective as well as, like, desire for, like, warmth and, you know, like, security and all that great stuff and food, your baby and you're crying and stuff. And then over time, right, other emotions are going to start to form. And so the deal that they made of like, they're not going to be able to harm one another. And so that's all well and good, but that also explains why Ambition needed Tom to kill Chamas, because he couldn't do it himself.
Help you. Coach you.
That's this whole thing.
In our own way. As time went on, some were misguided. But that was always the purpose.
So literally, like, that's the title drop. There you go. Legit. Like, that's what this series is about, right? All these emotions and which one is currently coaching you, which one is currently in control. He said the thing.
That's why I had to kill Chamas. He couldn't. Yes. And now you know. Ambition is dying. Anger is coming.
What do I have to do?
Choose.
So that was a basic, like, 23-minute intro to that. A lot gets said. Like, a lot. And now, this is one of my favorite conversations in the entirety of the GCU. Because this is Chamas and Tome both kind of just surrendering to, I did everything I could do. If Tom picks me, this is Chamas, then great. If he doesn't, I'm done. Yeah, Moosey. So this is as real as you're going to see Chamas, because now that you have all of this context from Blood Demons Talk, they used to be friends, they used to be together, they used to work together, everybody as a team, to being like, okay, like, here's what Tom needs, blah, 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 blah. And then there was preferences over others, there was jealousy that started to occur, there was, I could do a better job than they're doing, there's repression that's going on. And so all these different pieces over time and over years, yeah, they're not going to care about anger and emotion they threw out, 30 years ago. And we're like, okay, whatever, like, we're dealing with our own stuff now. And all that time, anger has been there, impacting the characters. But again, they're too blind to see it. And then at that point, anger has been waiting and waiting and waiting. This is not Breck. No, the 15 is always Chamas. I know the jerseys are similar. It's a different kind of orange. That's a Bears one. So.
Where is he?
A lot happens in 20 minutes.
Are you scared?
Isn't that your job?
Woo! Get him, Tom!
Yeah, I guess it is.
No. I'm not. Did you know about the letter?
Whoa. That's...
Yes. It was never going to happen. I was going to take over, so...
So, this is Tome basically calling Chamas out and being like, bro, like, listen, I messed up, but dude, like, that happened under your watch. He wrote that letter, like, literally the rockest of bottoms on your watch. And Chamas responds, it was never going to happen. Because his justification is, I'm going to put him in there and he's going to be safe. He can't do anything. He can't hurt himself. He can't do anything destructive because he's in there. And I'm going to be out here. I'm not saying it would have worked out great, but that wouldn't have happened. And so Chamas, again, from their perspective, they're all starting to justify. But this is the season that Tome kind of gets beyond that and goes, no, like, when he comes to that, he talks about it in episode 2, and then he talks about it again with Tom, and he's like, no. Like, nobody should have control. It should be you. And he's, like, really kind of the first of the emotions that we've seen that has been like, no, this is the way it needs to be done. You can't just, like, leave one of us out there. It's gotta be you.
I keep him safe. That's all I've ever done.
I gotta say, I question your methods.
That's all you got? No crushing remark or gallant speech about how terrible I am?
I'm all out of speeches. Plus, it's done. The fight's over. So why do speeches?
It's better than getting my face caved in, I guess.
You deserved it.
Hardly.
You strangled me to death.
To death is a little dramatic.
Hardly.
You came in here to kill me.
I did. And look where we both wound up anyway.
Yeah. I will keep him safe. When I get out, I'll take control. He won't get hurt again.
I know you'll try. And I know he won't get hurt by me again. You can't take control.
I'll take care of ambition.
That's not what I meant. I'm saying you shouldn't be in control.
Well, the options right now are not really...
He needs to be.
I don't think.
I'm telling you how to win. It needs to be him. You can keep him safe without being in control. Just don't scare him away from being happy. From joy.
Can you run?
This scene is also Tome going, this is how you win, dude. Like, here's the keys to success. Just follow, just let him rock. Just let him rock. Be there. Just let him rock, though. And then he's like, you can't have him be away from joy. And then Chamas goes, oops. And then we go through literally Killjoy, literally like impersonated Joy to scar Tom. I was like, maybe I may have messed up. Okay, maybe it wasn't the best plan. There's potential that maybe it didn't go super well.
You need him. He needs him.
Well, Joy and I are not really on the best of terms.
Neither are we. But here we are.
He bites, you know.
That a boy.
We had a good run.
We did.
Hey, where's the pirate?
So again, these last episodes have been very Coach, which makes sense because it is Coach. But as I'm interweaving the sagas into Coach, when they're getting screen time, it has to be important. It has to add to the overall story. This adds to the overall story.
Hello.
Good day.
Do you know my grandpa?
I do.
Are you friends?
Yes. Yes, we are.
Well, I'll give you two some privacy. Love you, Grandpa. I love you too.
Oh yeah, and this also was a payoff for months, because when I had a scene in the last conversation between Finn and Grandpa Cardinal, I knew this would be the first line as well.
May the water upon which you sail
Be the most beautiful blue.
if this isn't the most beautiful blue. Then I don't know what is.
Mr. Eugene.
Captain,
Yeah.
it's good to see you.
It's nice to see a friendly face on unknown shores.
Have you found Mac?
No, that's why I'm here.
I haven't been here too long. At least I don't think I have. But I looked for him. For you.
He's alive.
Alive. But you're here.
Don't worry. I have a ride back.
Good. Good.
So I love this scene too, because Captain Finn Oakley has just found somebody that he's bonded with. He's waiting for his grandson. He knows that there's people for him. So there is only like one logical question that has to come out of this, right?
Do you want to come with me, Mr. Eugene?
What?
I can take someone back. And if it's all the same, I'd rather it be you.
So I remember in the chat too, people were like, wait, no, because he has the power to screw all of this up. So you could see that the sagas legitimately have a direct impact, or can have a direct impact, on what's going on in there. And so, like, this is also like a big moment, because if this offer is accepted, woof, like, buy everything else.
Well, that's very kind of you, but no thank you.
But why? You could leave this place.
One of my grandsons is here. And I'm getting time with him. Time that I didn't have before. So I'm gonna have to decline your offer.
I understand.
However, there is something you could do for me.
Unresolved.
It would be an honor, Mr. Eugene.
After you found Mac, would you find my grandson and tell him will you tell him his grandpa's waiting for him, okay? So when he's ready, we can watch the birds together. Do you think you could do that for me, Captain?
I I reckon I can. Thank you. I know you'll find Mac. I have to, Mr. Eugene. I just can't shake this feeling. It's like we're two sides of the same coin. You'll find him. You'll find him. It really is the most beautiful blue. It is. I wish you the fairest of tidings, Mr. Eugene. And to you, Captain.
Oh yeah, there's Wildflower being held hostage by Lewis. Remember that? This finale. Oh boy. Oh boy. So yeah, a lot going on in that scene as well. And yeah, everything. That's a great call about Captain Finn Oakley legit like helping save like all of this. But you get that reference of two sides of the same coin, which you just heard about before, and it's in reference to Mac and Captain. So, yeah. Just wait.
Where is he? I said you have the wrong house. No. You know. You saw him. The way you looked at me. Can they run?
So, that's a callback to the West saga, because when he says that, Wildflower is like, ooh, and Lewis remembers that. So that's why, like, Lewis has come to find Wildflower, because he's like, no. Because talk about obsession. Now Lewis was left after the Super Bowl in an empty house. Shamus never came. There was no reward. He did all of that for nothing. So again, look at the West Saga from different characters' perspectives, because you have Mac, who went through everything he did and says, nope, that means nothing to me, right? Just bury that down. Means nothing. Then you have Captain, who went through it and was like, no, that I don't care if it means it means everything to me. And then you have Lewis, who did bad things and was not a great person, and now has to come to terms with his own actions, and it's like, I did that for nothing? Are you kidding me? We gotta go find him.
I don't know where he is. Liar. The only thing I do know... What's going on? Is that a gun? No.
Rocky knows.
Don't come up here, Rocky. You are going to tell me where he is right now, or I'm going to kill you. You listen here. My parents are gone. My grandpa is gone. My brother held a gun to me, very similar to the one you're holding now. And I ran him over with a lawnmower. So if you think that some weak, rooted buttercup with a gun is gonna scare me, well then you don't know who the hell I am.
Because we talk about the trauma and like the unloading of trauma that's going on in this season. Wildflower has gotten to a point where like he's I don't want to say good, but like he's come to terms with a lot of things. And there also is that wildflower, because I want to make sure, like when I was talking about him and letting him off the hook for some things, there is still the very real thing of like, he ran Gus over with a lawnmower. Like that is still also part of him. And so that also, I don't want to bury and be like, oh no, it's full redemption. Nay. Wildflower's still that, he's still that guy.
Well then, I guess you'll be seeing your grandpa real soon.
Woo!
Wait! Wait. You have 5 seconds before he left you too. Didn't he?
Woo! We talk about two sides of the same coin. Let's talk about Rocky and the East Saga. Lewis and the West Saga. They got that commonality. Used by Chamas. We're interweaving.
What? He left you. What are you talking about? He left me too. He used me to hurt people.
R.I.P. Carl.
It sounds like he used you too. He told me that I was special, that I had a purpose. And I did things. I hurt people. It couldn't have been for nothing. It couldn't have been for nothing! I've been used. Hurt people. But there's always a way back.
Theme of the season, yeah.
Let us help you find it. I can't go back. Let's try.
Yeah, I literally fell to the ground. That was me. I probably should have had a different face when that happened.
No, he tried to hurt Grandpa.
Just a little poke.
We don't hurt trees anymore.
Woo!
A sapling can grow, even in the most dormant of caves.
So, Lewis gets to have a little bit of redemption, but this Rocky has been a character that like I've been really excited to utilize because I feel like so much time has passed since like Rocky has done something super duper meaningful, and I feel like this is the reason that he got brought back. Like it wasn't just like, oh, I don't want to kill off the character. Like there's a reason. And talk about how he was used by ambition and he was used by Chamas, because we're talking about these saga characters who are going through their own trauma because of their own lives, but then are going through additional trauma because of literal emotions impacting them, which is bigger than all of them. So they're all going to respond differently. Frederick is responding a very different way, right? Mac, very different way. Finn Oakley, different way. Wildflower, Rocky, etc. So, yeah. It's back to ambition now. Good question, Galaxy. Good question.
Choose what?
So I love that scene because it like blurs that line. Like that's happening in the real world. Ambition is literally lit the candle, which again, lighting stuff too to bring in the blood demon. That's intentional. But it then cuts to like ambition to blood demon again. Like that exact thing. So ambition is like done. He's done now. And he wanted to go and he wanted to move and he wanted to leave. And so he's looking to burn it all down.
Between love and fear. What? I can bring one back. You must choose. What do you mean, bring them back? Can't you just snap your fingers? Why is this a choice?
Why is it a choice, baby? Because that's a question too. What do you mean? Blood Demon can do all this stuff. Why can't he just bring back everyone? Oh, powers are starting to fade. Also, there's another reason. That's right. We ain't leaving any rooms for plot holes, which is why I hate Diego so much. Don't worry, I'll fix it. I'll wind up fixing it. I won't let it be a plot hole. That's fine. It's fine. That's also why this is called The Choice.
I shouldn't even be bringing one back. Says who? Where they are. They shouldn't be coming back from. There are rules there.
Beach lore.
You must choose. What's it going to be? Because whatever you choose, you're going to need them to stop what's coming. Because he won't stop until everything is gone. He's here now. Hello? Your time is up. What is your choice?
Oh, I love this shot so much.
I choose.
There you go, Burbrick. You got him.
Here. Home. It is done.
It's literally my favorite shot of the entire series.
Mech? It seems that rumors of your demise were exaggerated. Captain?
Let's go!
We found 4 more potential recruits down south. Good. I'll head out immediately. You should know. Your stepbrother's with them. What? I believe his name is Danny. Even better. We'll send the new recruits. You both have work to do.
Junior. Because we never got any resolution on what happened with Junior. Was killed by ambition.
Hey, bros. Rocky and Wildflower are 5 minutes late, so I was legally obligated to eat all of the chia seeds. It's like when you're in school and the teacher is not there, so you just have to wait 15 minutes until you're legally allowed to leave. It's in the Constitution. Junior? It's been too long. Bros! Junior's back! Junior, he's gonna love the fact that you're back. How are you? You know what? You might not recognize me. It is me, Springsteen. Last time you saw me, just had a green thermal, upgraded to a jersey. Also, Mom left. Don't worry, she's still healthy. At least I think she is. She just left because Dad came back, and then Dad died, and then, oh boy, we found out about Bruce being adopted, and then there was a whole thing, and then Carl died, and it was, Wildflower ran somebody over with a lawnmower. It really was just an intense time. You know what, Bruce? Screw the chia seeds. We got friends over. Put on the pizza bagels. How are you? I'm okay. I think I'm gonna be okay.
Perfect.
I went to Kanye West recent tour the year.
Ah! Copyright. And that is Coach Season 4. It ends on the most optimistic note because even though there are some rough things to come, it needed to end on that note. It needed to end with Junior. There's a couple pieces of lore in there But Bruce and Springsteen, knowing who Junior was like, oh damn. All right, balls with a fire. Can you imagine at the very end it was Springsteen telling the story the entire time? And that's when I woke up from the coma. It was just Springsteen's coma the entire time. The entire time. So, I'm gonna, if we're not doing it tomorrow, we'll definitely do it on Saturday. We'll do the South Saga. And then we still got season 5 and then North Saga. That'll be over for, so yeah, how do they know? How do they know? Don't worry. You'll see. You'll see. You'll see. But, folks, we went like 3.5 hours. We went an hour and a half. Oh, boy. These are just... That was this is a 5-hour stream just for this. But, hey, we're rocking. We're rocking. We got 3 more to do. We got the South Saga. We got Coach Season 5. And we got the North Saga. So, either way, I'll be seeing you because there's no GPS. Perna's going to be away, but hopefully the hockey video comes out tomorrow. Hopefully. But if not South Saga, definitely Q&A, and then South Saga would be on Saturday, and then we'll wrap it up by the end of by around the beginning of next week. So, folks, have a fantastic evening. It's 10:25. I'm going to go eat some dinner. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. And as always, go Pack Go.